engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
During the early days of the space race between the U.S. and former Soviet Union, the smartest high school kids in America were encouraged to pursue engineering. But Robert Goldenberg heard a different calling.
And I decided I didn't want to be an engineer, I wanted to be a doctor. And I think I just liked blending in science with taking care of people. It just seemed like the right thing for me to do.
His contributions to the health of women and infants has earned him an international reputation in the field of obstetrics and gynecology. He has investigated nutritional, behavioral, socioeconomic, and geopolitical issues related to perinatal health and is a leading authority on the relationship between infections and premature births.
A lot of the things that I've worked on, in fact, have been proving that things that we were doing as obstetricians weren't helpful.
It's always hard to say there is one person who is the leader of a field, but if you were going to come up with somebody who's in the top 3 to 5 all time, Bob Goldenberg would fall in that range, and I don't know who else I would throw into that category.
The critical turning point in Dr. Goldenberg's medical education at Duke was during his OB/GYN clerkship with then Chief Resident Charles Hammond.
I just remember Dr. Hammond being such a tremendous role model. I followed him around for the whole clerkship. It became apparent to me that what he was is exactly what I wanted to be.
So after a medical internship at Duke and a first-year OB/GYN residency at Columbia, Dr. Goldenberg went to the National Institutes of Health, just like Dr. Hammond.
And worked in his lab at the NIH, just like he did, and became an academic OB/GYN, just like he did.
After the NIH, he completed his OB/GYN residency at Yale, then joined the faculty there. He moved to Alabama in 1976 to join the faculty at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, and in 1995 was named chair of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, establishing it as one of the leading OB/GYN departments in the country. While he was director of the Alabama Maternal and Child Health Bureau, he standardized prenatal care services in all Alabama County health departments and reduced infant mortality by 1/3 in just 3 years.
And Alabama moved in those years from being essentially the worst state in the country in terms of infant mortality to having better records than places like New York and Connecticut and other places as well.
That required leadership and great skill. Bob was the sort of person who could go in and establish that kind of bond with the physicians and hospital leadership and get them to do it.
Dr. Goldenberg works closely with the Gates Foundation to improve pregnancy outcomes in third world countries. Much of his work takes place in Zambia.
These are babies that would survive perfectly if they were born in the U.S.
At the request of the medical director of the city of Lusaka, Zambia, Dr. Goldenberg took the computerized obstetrics record program he developed in Alabama and implemented it citywide in Lusaka.
Now there's currently a computerized obstetric record system that covers 23 clinics, a couple of hospitals, and captures most of the births that are occurring in the city of Lusaka.
Dr. Goldenberg is a member of the Institute of Medicine, was honored by the Society of Maternal and Fetal Medicine, and was named Distinguished Faculty Lecturer at the University of Alabama. But you'll rarely, if ever, hear Dr. Goldenberg talk about the many honors he's received.
And there he was in the Institute of Medicine, and I learned that he was immediately made the chairman of the Maternal and Child Health section. That's a pretty big deal. You'd think he might have mentioned it to me. I mean, I'd been his roommate in medical school.
Dr. Goldenberg has 3 grown children, 2 sons and an adopted daughter from Korea. He also has 2 grandchildren. He and his partner, Jenny Culhane, a PhD epidemiologist at the University of Pennsylvania and Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania, have been together for 12 years.
And our life bloomed together, and it's been wonderful.
Dr. Goldenberg has a passion for African art, which he prominently displays throughout his home in Madison, Connecticut. While he doesn't run marathons anymore, he does like to get exercise in the swimming pool. And his favorite hobby is sculling, a skill he acquired as a member of the crew team while an undergraduate at Columbia.
But I just love being out on the water, and it's, for me, a fantastic way to spend time. Life is good.